Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on a funeral elegy, and today we're going to take a look at lines 325 to 346. And we've been talking for most of the elegy about what a wonderful person Sir William Peter was, and how the author had a little bit of guilt because he didn't necessarily say everything that he wanted to before Sir William Peter died. So that's what this elegy is. And wasn't he so great? Wasn't he so great? Wasn't he so great? Is basically the theme. And that's sort of what the theme of a funeral elegy should be. And we've talked a little bit about how other people can get really distracted by things and be mean and harp on the bad things. But Sir William Peter was not that guy, and he was a little bit something different to everybody that knew him. But the one sort of through line that everybody can agree on is that he was constant in his friendship to everybody. He wasn't necessarily, the fanciest dresser or things like that, but he was a very constant friend. He was sort of a rock of friendship. And line 325 says, "Though in the complemental phrase of words, he never was addicted to the vein of boast, such as the common breath affords. He was in use most fast, in tongue most plain. Nor amongst all those virtues that forever adorned his reputation will be found one greater than his faith, which did persever, where once it was protested, always sound. Hence sprung the deadly fuel that revived the rage which wrought his end. For had he been slacker in love, he had been longer lived, and not oppressed by wrath's unhappy sin." By wrath's unhappy sin, which advised gave death for free goodwill and wounds for love. Pity it was that blood had not been prized at higher rate, and reason set above most unjust choler, which untimely drew destruction on itself, and most unjust robbed virtue of a follower so true as time can boast of, both for love and trust. So henceforth all, great glory to his blood, shall be but seconds to him, being good. So the beginning is more, he's so great, and he wasn't overly effusive in what he said. He was just sort of straightforward and to the point. But one of his greatest virtues was his faith, and it was because of his faith somebody else got really angry and killed him. Like his faith ignited someone else's rage, and that's why he died. And then the last about half of these lines is getting into hinting at how he died and why he died, and that this was a murder. This was not a good thing. This was untimely. This was destruction of good itself, basically, by killing him and saying, no one was more true than him, both in love and in trust, and by slaughtering him so unjustly at such a young age, nobody else will ever be as good as him. So murdering him a little bit in these last lines. So my guess is that whoever knew him knew how he died, so we probably don't need to recount the exact specifics in the funeral elegy. But for those of us that don't necessarily know the circumstances under which Sir William Peter died, it's interesting to get these hints of anger and unjustness and frustration with he was taken from us so young and for no good reason, really. So anyway, that's today's lines. We'll dig into some more of it tomorrow. I'll see you then. Mwah.